Josephina has only recently joined Team Lioness, but things have already begun to turn sour. Here's what happened in Lioness Season 2. The Taylor Sheridan series began with a bang last week, with Episode 1 taking Joe's squad into uncharted territory. To gain access to Chinese intelligence, they must take down the Mexican criminal gang Los Tigres from within. Fortunately, they believe they have identified the proper technique for the job. Episode 2 saw the reluctant recruitment of Josephina, a U.S. soldier stationed in Iraq who is linked to cartel kingpin Alvaro. According to her, she is unaware of their criminal act. But is what we're hearing true? Joe doesn't believe it, and probably neither should we. Here is a complete recap of Lioness Season 2 Episode. The Iraq shooting has implications in Lioness Season 2 Episode 3. Season 2 of Lioness features the Situation Room of the White House, Paramount. We pick up in Lioness Season 2 Episode 3, with Joe and Caitlin watching from headquarters. A female target, allegedly linked to Los Tigres, is being monitored, with officers gaining admission to her home under the guise of a gas company. Her Spanish-speaking maid lets them in and leaves the house while they place a tracking chip that gives them access to the house's CCTV. Joe explains that she has reservations about Josephina. Joe does not believe her assertions that she does not know her uncle, who heads the cartel, nor does she appear to speak any Spanish. Caitlin emphasizes that no one Joe comes into contact with should be trusted. Joe freaks out when she arrives home and can't find anyone, telling husband Errol that kidnapping is a serious concern with her new position. While Joe is at home, she receives a call from Caitlin. The attack from Episode 2 has hit the news, and Josephina's firing is now official public information. Teenager Kate also witnesses Joe and Errol having sex, claiming to be traumatized. Back in the Situation Room at the White House, the powers that be gather to discuss the aftermath of the news report. Edwin states that there is a lack of awareness of what is going on, implying that there isn't enough outrage to provide a solid alibi, or that the outrage isn't directed in the correct places. Since the election is going poorly, no one can agree on a response. In 2, Joe and Kyle observe Josephina's training, which begins shakily. Josephina arrives at Bliss for training, which she is not pleased to have to repeat. She is immediately antagonistic to Bliss and everyone else on the team, and the rest of them are similarly hostile in return. Following the Iraq cover-up, Caitlin and her husband begin buttering up lawmakers in order to gain their support. They are hesitant to endorse the CIA's plans for Mexico, but after some not-so-gentle persuasion by Caitlin, she has them wrapped around her finger. Josephina struggles with her new routine at Bliss, particularly the fact that everything is open plan and extremely co-ed. The team starts her on drills, but Josephina's regular army training and logic contradict what she is being taught. Stimulating the commotion of a real-life attack, Josephina takes her time adjusting to her. She is hesitant to trust the advice she is given but is amazed when it begins to produce benefits. Joe arrives to Bliss to see how Josephina is doing, and Kyle explains that she follows instructions and can carry out plans swiftly. Her next training session involves virtual reality, where she is blindly guided into a scene with no defined goal. She is killed during a confrontation with a shooter holding a lady hostage, and Joe criticizes Josephina for her tactics. Joe clarifies that her primary goal is to kill, first the target and then anybody else necessary for survival. The new Lioness isn't who we believe she is. In Season 2, Episode 3, of Lioness, Josephina discharges a gun while Kyle observes. Lioness Season 2 Episode 3 concludes with Joe dragging Josephina to one side. Joe informs her that she is returning to her parents' home in Dallas, which raises the topic of why she is not close to her. She informs Kyle that Josephina is well aware of her father's activities, and the two quickly become antagonistic. In a fit of frustration, Josephina admits she does know Spanish. She's been lying the entire time. Joe requests that the team keep her in isolation until authorities arrive. Josephina maintains she avoided her family because she did not want to be a part of their lives.